The night had barely surrendered to darkness when the engine coughed its last breath on a desolate country road. 5 close friends, Eli, Mara, Jonas, Lena, and Caleb, had been laughing through the drive, their excitement bubbling in the confined space of the old van. But as the vehicle sputtered to a halt in the middle of a thick, foreboding forest, their jovial chatter dissolved into an unsettling silence. They stepped out into the cold, damp night. Fog curled around the gnarled trees like spectral fingers, and an eerie luminescence flickered between the trunks. As they debated their next move, a low, guttural growl erupted from the darkness. A bear, massive and relentless, emerged onto the road, its dark eyes gleaming with unnatural hunger. Panic surged through them, and in a heartbeat, the decision was made. Run. In the ensuing chaos, the forest twisted into a labyrinth of shadows. Eli and Caleb bolted in one direction, while Mara, Jonas, and Lena veered down another path. The snapping of twigs and pounding of heavy paws echoed ominously behind them, merging with the frantic beat of their hearts. Mara's breath came in ragged gasps as she struggled to keep pace, her legs burning. Then, amidst the darkness, she glimpsed something, an unnatural glow deep within the woods. With nowhere else to turn, she pressed on until the underbrush yielded to a clearing where an old, rusted cabin stood like a relic from a forgotten era. Its weathered wood groaned in the night wind, the porch sagging beneath years of decay. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of damp and rot. Dust motes drifted through the scant moonlight filtering through shattered windows. Every step Mara took resonated with the weight of unseen eyes, as if the walls themselves whispered of long-buried secrets. As she explored, her fingers brushed against something strange. Cryptic symbols etched into the wooden walls. Their meanings were lost to time, but something about them felt wrong. Were they warnings or invitations? Outside, the relentless sounds of the bear's pursuit had faded, replaced by something else, something more insidious. A distant, rhythmic whispering, like voices just beyond understanding. The forest was alive, conspiring to keep its secrets. Then, from the far end of the cabin, a sharp sound, like a door creaking open. Mara froze. The question of what lay beyond that door lingered in the air, unanswered. Her journey was far from over. Her pulse thundered as the mysterious door revealed a narrow, descending staircase, shrouded in darkness. With trembling resolve, she stepped forward. The passage smelled of damp earth and old secrets, every step echoing like a heartbeat in the silence. At the bottom, a corridor unfurled into a labyrinth of forgotten rooms and hidden alcoves. Faded portraits lined the walls, their subjects' eyes seeming to follow her every move. Mara's flashlight beam danced across inscriptions and relics, remnants of lives lost and stories untold. She reached for a dusty journal, its pages filled with cryptic entries hinting at unspeakable events, at something ancient beneath these woods. A sudden scuff of footsteps made her freeze. Was it the distant echo of the bear? A friend lost in the chaos? Or something else entirely? The corridor pulsed with a life of its own, silence punctuated by whispers that might have been warnings or invitations. A door ajar at the end of the hall beckoned her, its darkness deeper than the rest. Inside, a vast, shadowed chamber loomed. Symbols were carved into stone, forming a mosaic of eerie patterns. A chill raced down her spine. These were not random markings. They were deliberate, a coded message. Outside, the forest's relentless hum continued, a reminder that danger still lurked. The mysteries of the cabin, the hidden passage, and the cryptic inscriptions pressed in on Mara from every side, urging her to piece together the puzzle despite the overwhelming dread. With the journal clutched in one hand and a lingering question in her mind, what force had drawn them here? She took a final, hesitant step forward. Mara's trembling hand tightened around the journal as she entered a vast, circular chamber deep beneath the cabin. The walls, etched with ancient symbols, pulsed with an eerie, almost sentient glow. In the center stood a stone altar, scarred by time and ritual. As she approached, the inscriptions unfurled a grim tale. Centuries ago, a secretive cult had dwelled in these woods. appeasing an ancient vengeful spirit with sacrifices. Over time, their rites had twisted into a curse, dooming any wanderer who strayed too far. The final entry in the journal revealed the horrifying truth. Mara's missing friends were not victims of a random attack. They had been chosen. A movement behind the altar made her breath catch. Eli, Caleb, Jonas, and Lena emerged from the shadows, their eyes glazed with an unnatural light, bodies bound by the dark force that had claimed them. Before she could reach them, another figure stepped forward. The cult leader, a gaunt man whose voice slithered like smoke. "You were not meant to interfere," he hissed, lifting a ceremonial dagger. In that charged moment, Mara realized the ritual could be undone. The journal contained one final, desperate instruction: destroy the altar before the ritual reached its climax. It was the only way to break the curse. With no time to hesitate, she seized a heavy iron bar from a nearby shelf and swung. The clash of metal against stone echoed through the chamber. The altar cracked, then shattered. A blinding flash of light burst forth. The spectral force that had haunted the cabin wailed in fury. The cult leader's incantations fell silent, his eyes wide with disbelief as the darkness unraveled. The grip on Mara's friends loosened. They collapsed, freed from the curse, but forever marked by the ordeal. The chamber, once a place of dread, now lay in quiet ruin, its terrible secrets laid bare. Outside, the oppressive hush of the forest was replaced by the soft, mournful sigh of wind through the trees. A final farewell to the ancient horror that had plagued these woods. Mara gathered her friends, their expressions a mixture of relief and lingering uncertainty. Though the spirit was banished, the scars of the night would remain. The mystery of the forest was resolved, yet its legacy whispered on. A stark reminder that some secrets, once unearthed, change us forever. As they stepped out into the early light of dawn, the shattered remnants of the cabin and the silent woods bore witness to their survival, and the enduring power of a truth revealed in darkness.